Sinjar and the surrounding mountains suffered 2 deadly sieges and 2 deadly battles in 2014 and 15. The whole area totally controlled by the Islamic State group for a year. It began in August 2014, the jihadists launching a surprise offensive against Iraqi Kurdistan. In just a few hours of fighting, they seized Sinjar, the city inhabited mainly by Yazidis, a religious minority considered as heretics by the jihadists. The men systematically executed. Thousands of women and children kidnapped, many of them then forced into sexual slavery. Young boys enlisted as child soldiers and forcibly converted to Islam. In front of the Iraqi parliament, the Yazidi MP, Vian Dakil, issued a cry for help.
نذبح تحت يافطة لا إله إلا الله سيد الرئيس لحد الآن 500 شاب ورجل يزيدي ذبحوا.
السيدة النائبة التزمي بالبيان الذي وافقت عليه
سيد الرئيس نساؤنا تسبى وتباع في سوق الرق. رجاء أخوان
سيدة النائبة
الآن هناك حملة إبادة جماعية على المكون اليزيدي.
Well, the plea partly heard by the US military, which launched a bombing of the Islamic State group's positions to try to help counter-attacking Kurdish forces. But it took more than a year for Sinjar to be finally liberated in November 2015. According to the UN, the massacres there killed between 2,000 and 5,000 people. Mass graves still regularly discovered. At the fall of Baghouz just last March, some 300 Yazidi women and children released from the IS's last stronghold in Iraq. But still no news of hundreds more who remain missing. Today, the surviving Yazidis trying to rebuild their lives in Sinjar, although many still reluctant to return. Well, for France 24, Simona Fulton and Gwendolyn de Bono revisit Sinjar.
We were here. This was our house. ISIS attacked us on the 3rd of August 2014. It was 3 or 4 in the afternoon when they came to take us. They came with 4 cars. We, the women, we stayed here. We were all inside a room. Then they took the men to the outskirts of the village. We heard a lot of gunfire, but I don't know what they did to them. We didn't dare to go outside or ask what had happened.
When ISIS came, I wasn't at home. My father had asked me to go herd the sheep. Down there in the village, ISIS was arresting people, but we weren't aware of what was happening. Then we went to the mountain. We stayed there for 3 or 4 nights. It was horrible. At any moment, ISIS could attack us. We didn't know when. We were so hungry, so thirsty. In that moment, I thought about my mum, my dad, my sisters and my brother. I didn't know what had become of them. I had no news about their fate.
On August 3, 2014, the Islamic State group kidnapped Jamal's mother Aisha, his 3 sisters and younger brother. Jamal's father was likely killed, one of an estimated 5,000 Yazidis massacred at the hands of the jihadists. His remains could be in this mass grave. The village of Kocho, south of Sinjar mountain, was the site of the worst massacre committed against the Yazidis. Not a soul lives here today, except for a few survivors who guard the remains of their loved ones buried underneath. Khaled Murad is the brother of Nadia Murad, a 2018 Nobel Prize laureate who has tirelessly campaigned for the Yazidi cause.
أستاذي شلونك؟ شو أخبارك؟ إن شاء الله بخير. حبيبي علي عزيزي. هلا أستاذ، شلونكم؟ أخباركم؟
They're part of the group. Let them pass with the truck, but don't let any other car or person pass unless I tell you.
Today we began the process of searching and excavating a new site after having completed the work at the first location in the village of Kocho. Honestly, there's been a delay in the process of opening the graves, but there have been a number of factors, among them the security situation in this area, as well as our work in collecting family samples, because we need these samples to check the identity of the victims when they take them out of the graves. We admit that we're late, but we have started.
For us, the Yazidis, one of the most important things is to excavate the mass graves. Ever since Kocho was liberated, we've been asking the world that the mass graves be exhumed. They must be excavated so that the families know who's a martyr, who has disappeared, so that in the end we can bury them in graves where they can finally rest in peace. This is the place where I last saw my family. After that, I never saw them again. It was the 15th of August, 2014. It was around midday when they gathered the people. They told our sheikh to gather everyone. Tell them all to come to the school. And they put the women and children on the first floor. The men were gathered in the hallways and classrooms on the ground floor. Then they took us to the east and southeast of the village. They told us they were going to kill us. There was a surveillance plane circling above us in the sky. Because of this plane, they were in a rush and shot at us quickly, without concentrating. I fled towards the east of the village. After more than a kilometer, I saw a shelter. I hid there until nightfall. I was injured, but I walked all night. I was hit by 3 bullets, 2 in my hand, 1 in my leg. But thank God, I was able to reach the mountain. Part of my family went to Germany, but until now, I haven't joined them. I don't want to enjoy life in the future. I don't want to enjoy life at all. How can I go to France or Germany to have fun? I can't do that. I prefer to stay here and to protect our region.
Sinjar town, once inhabited by almost 100,000 people, is part ghost town, part ruin. Those who have returned, around a quarter of the population, are largely left to their own devices. Aisha and her family moved here from their village to escape the memories that continue to haunt them.
I swear, life in Sinjar has been very difficult. The family of my father is helping us out. Before, we had our own house, our own sheep. We had a tractor and a car. My husband was with us. We were very happy. It's been 3 years since I was freed from the grip of ISIS, but I haven't received any financial support. I have nothing.
Mahmoud and Shireen are activists, NGO workers, and smugglers.
Hello, how are you?
They helped rescue Aisha and her daughter Jinan from slavery.
Go and say hello to him. Shake his hand and say hello.
Go over there.
Jinan, do you recognize me?
Do you recognize him?
When I went to collect her, she was crying. She cried all the time. I told her, don't worry. I've taken you away from those people, but she kept crying.
Aisha's eldest daughter is still missing, one of 3,000 kidnapped women and children that remain unaccounted for.
What's the name of your daughter, the one who's still captive?
Jamila.
What's her first name over there?
I have no idea.
100% they've changed her name.
Let me see her.
This is an old photo of hers.
I think I already have this photo. Who published it? Was there a number?
There was a number, but I don't have it anymore. It was a lady in Syria.
How old was she when they took her?
She was 7 years old. That photo was taken 4 months before she was kidnapped. Maybe a bit more. I don't know.
We work around the clock. At 10 p.m. I put my phone on silent so I can sleep. When I wake up in the morning, I have a list of requests from mothers who say, Mahmoud, please help us find our children. Hello, how are you? Are you well? I'm calling you with regard to the captives. I also spoke to Hamid. I just want to know if we can come soon or not. Like last time, there are families whose relatives are in Al-Hol camp. We have a lot of information about Al-Hol. Last time, we were able to find 2 of them there. Now people don't leave us alone. Every day they call us. They send us pictures of their children. Which day is it best for us to come?
تمام باشا باشا
I'm very tired. The work is very complicated. Sometimes I tell myself, that's enough. I don't have any official paper from Baghdad to support me. What I'm doing is illegal. Maybe tomorrow I'll be summoned in front of a tribunal because everything we pay to free the children goes straight towards financing ISIS. These payments are considered illegal. They'll accuse me of supporting a terror organization.
200,000 Yazidis still live in camps for displaced across northern Iraq. The IS group made sure to leave mines in every village, many of which have yet to be cleared. Security is fragile amid fierce competition for power by different militia. But above all, the mistrust between Arabs and Yazidis appears irreconcilable.
There's no trust anymore. We won't go back without protection. We didn't know that our friends and our acquaintances would do this to us and our children. There's a village not far from ours that's called Rambus. When Daesh arrived, they all joined. We demand from the government that they find those who became Daesh.
One of the teachers at school who taught me human rights joined ISIS. He's in a camp for displaced people in Kirkuk province at the moment. When ISIS came, that teacher called me and said, "Don't leave, don't leave." So how can we now trust an Arab teacher, an Arab doctor, an Arab neighbour?
5 years after the genocide, the Yazidi community is scattered, yearning for justice and closure. They feel betrayed by the Kurdish regional government, who didn't protect them in 2014, and abandoned by the Iraqi federal government that is failing to deliver basic services and reconstruction. Without international protection, Yazidis have little hope to rebuild their shattered communities.
Simona Fulton and Gwendolyn de Bono revisiting Sinjar for France 24. Well, that's all from this week's edition. Don't forget, of course, you can catch it and the previous editions as well on our website at france24.com. Thanks for watching. More news coming very shortly.